I'm Brita, web mistress of the dark. Today I'm going to show you my Eerie Eyeballs, one of the most popular recipes from my Halloween recipes page on Brita Boulevard. First we start with lemon gelatin, and that means I have 1 cup of boiling water already in my double boiler here, and the double boiler is piping hot, so we're all ready to go. Now, I've been having a hard time finding the smaller boxes of gelatin, the 3 ounce, the 4 serving kind. Since I often will use 1 box of lemon gelatin plus 1 of plain gelatin, I'm going to go ahead and use the whole big box of lemon gelatin. We might have a little bit yellower eyeballs this year, but we'll definitely have enough gelatin content for our molds and for our melon baller technique. So that's what I'm going to use. So we dissolve all our gelatin in the boiling water first. Once that is all combined, we're going to add the other ingredients one by one in a certain order. We are using a double boiler so the marshmallows do not scorch while they are melting. Okay, our gelatin is just about dissolved. So next go in the marshmallows. Now these are even more gelatin content to help them set, plus it will give us some opacity and just another flavor to go in the mix. This will take quite a while of dissolving, and you need to keep an eye on it so you know it doesn't stick around the edges, so keep stirring. It shouldn't burn because that's the whole point of the double boiler. So I'll stand here and stir, and we'll come back in a bit. Here you can see what I mean about the scum around the sides. Just make sure you keep that scraped down because that's valuable marshmallow for in your eyeballs. We've still got a ways to go. You have to keep going until you don't see any marshmallows at all. It'll just be a slightly thicker gelatin liquid mixture. All our marshmallows are now melted. You can see there's no lumps left. Now that's all the foam on top from the marshmallows melting, but you see that's not the whole mixture. When I stir, you see that it's yellow still, but it's a little more opaque than it was when it was just clear gelatin. So now we're ready to put in the cream cheese. Now that all our marshmallows are melted, we're ready to put in the cream cheese. A full 8 ounce block of cream cheese goes in. This is what makes them taste like pineapple cheesecake eyeballs. And carefully put this in small chunks so it will be easier to melt all in. We still have the heat going on the double boiler so that it helps the cream cheese melt, but we don't want to cook it. So you might want to turn down. I have mine on medium just to keep the heat going without boiling. And let me get all the cream cheese in here, and then it's another lesson in stirring and patience. When you first add the cream cheese, it's very lumpy because even though I brought it to room temperature, it's still pretty hard. We need it to actually melt with the rest of everything. So the heat will do well. It will take a while, and it will still keep looking crumbly for quite a while, so just be patient while it mixes in. We're still going, but you see there are smaller pieces of cream cheese and the whole mixture is looking a lot more thickened up now. So keep going until you don't have any chunks left. You can try using a whisk if you'd like. I used to use an electric mixer for this step to incorporate the cream cheese, but you see it's so liquid it just splatters around a lot. Hard to keep most of it in the container, so I gave up on that and just went with the waiting with the heat. The whisk is working okay, but you see it's not doing that much extra, but at least you can hear me talk instead of an electric mixer. I whisked a little bit, and I think this is when I'm going to stop. These little bits aren't going to bug me. They're going to rise to the top of my mold, and I'm sure they'll be okay in the melon baller. Once you get the painting on the eyeballs, that's the biggest effect anyways, so that's what you should spend your time on. Finally, we have all the cream cheese mixed into the gelatin mixture. So now I'm going to remove it from the heat. Because it's a hot metal bowl that's been over boiling water, I am going to set it on a cool burner over here. Turn off that burner. Woo! Sizzle, sizzle. I have cold pineapple juice here. That's going to be the cold that will set our gelatin instead of using cold water that's in the recipe on the box. So as I'm still stirring, I'm going to add in the cold pineapple juice. Make sure that gets mixed in really well. We definitely have a yellower mixture than usual because I used the whole entire large packet of lemon jello, but that's okay. Once the painting of the irises gets on, it's a contrasting color, it's going to still look like an eyeball. Here I have the molds I'm going to use for my eyeballs. I have a large, the deepest casserole dish that I have, because I'm going to scoop the melon baller shape out of this, and I want the whole globe of the eyeball. And to do that, I need to be able to have another full deep chunk to actually scoop the whole globe around. So deeper is better. And this is what has made my life easier for so many years. These are truffle molds for candy making. They are just thin plastic. They're the kind that you have to hand wash, not dishwasher safe. They have a little swirl built in, so that's about the corniest shape. I have seen this year there are eyeball molds like this, but they have big veins on the side. I like my eyeballs smooth. I think they're spookier that way. So these have made my life a lot easier. These are only a couple dollars each and 9 dozen eyeballs. There's no waste as you have after the melon ballers are used up. So I go ahead and spray all of these with non-stick cooking spray to make sure they're going to release from the mold. Even the melon baller one is going to make it a lot easier to clean in the end. I'm setting them on a cookie sheet because it's a lot easier to get them in and out of the fridge that way when it's not a big bowl like this. So now we have our molds sprayed. We have our mixture cooling already over here with the pineapple juice added. So now I am going to use a spoon from here. And I'm going to, since the bowl is still hot, I'm definitely going to protect myself. Now I'm going to fill all these molds with a spoon, fill the little ones first, and then I'm going to put the rest in the big one, so I can show you the melon baller technique later. Of course, the mixture is very runny, but it will set up. It's just like, you know, any gelatin you've ever made, gelatin dessert you've ever made. It will set up when it cools. So I'm going to go ahead and fill these up and then be back. I usually let them set overnight to be sure they are completely set, no problems. My eyeballs have been sitting in the fridge overnight, so now they've completely set and ready to take out of the mold. I've already taken some out here, and I wanted to show you how easy it is to take the eyeballs out of these nice little truffle candy molds. Just make sure the edges are all loose from the mold. Sometimes they stick. Then carefully slide it so it's right side up. Set it on the plate. And keep going with the rest of the molds. I do want to point out also, if you can see, when I was talking about how there can be little grains of cream cheese left, how they rise to the top, that's exactly what they've done. And if you look on the other side, you don't really see any grains of cream cheese. So the eyeball part that you're looking at is fine. The bottom side may have some little bumps. It's the bottom, who cares? I'm going to keep taking out the rest of the eyeballs, then I'll show you the melon baller technique instead.